Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whichever part of the world you're logging in from. Welcome to the special Diwali edition, the India edition of the Global Knowledge Week events coming out of India. I represent the Bangalore Knowledge Management Community or the Bangalore K community, along with MXR.world, mixers across the world. And we're very happy to present to you an international event with speakers from Bangalore, other parts of India, other parts of the world, to address some of the very interesting trends that are happening in knowledge management. For those of you who haven't been to Bangalore yet or aren't very familiar with our activities over here, Bangalore is known as a global hub of very good academic institutions, lots of R&D in aerospace defense. Some of the largest Indian IT services giants grew out of Bangalore. We now have a number of global companies with their global capability centers or GCCs based here in Bangalore. It's also a big hub of startup activities, lots of incubators, venture capital companies, and so on. Second largest hub for AI talent, lots of art, food, culture, and so on. And unfortunately, along with that is a lot of potholes, pollution, traffic, but we can talk about that some other day on public works and maybe how knowledge management can help the civic administration of the country. The Bangalore K community is more than 20 years old now, and I must say this has been some of the most exciting years for any of us in this knowledge economy. When we first started this group more than 20 years ago, all we had was Yahoo email e-groups to talk to each other. Google had just about launched around that time, and I remember that time people saying the enemy of KM is Google because everyone's going to Google and search instead of looking on KM portals in the company. We've gone since then to see the rise of social media. We've seen the rise of e-commerce and then AI and Gen AI. So we've lived through all these changes, and I can tell you these are some of the most exciting years for the field of knowledge management. Some of the business trends we've seen are, of course, the rise of crowdsourcing, internal and external, co-creation as companies come together, the startup boom, companies like Google, all the ones above in the screen, they were all startups not more than 20, 25 years ago. So we've seen the amazing rise all over the world for different kinds of entrepreneurship movements and how they work. The startups, small startups work with large companies to create different kinds of knowledge ecosystems. This has also spurred a lot of concern today about, is AI going to take away jobs? What do we all need to learn to be more creative? Personal knowledge management is becoming a very big topic, and I'm sure one of our keynote speakers, Leila, will be talking about that as well. So today we have a fantastic lineup of speakers. I'm very honored that we have Dr. Leila Maroof, author of the book Knowledge Mindfulness. It's an absolutely super book. I've got a copy right here. You should all get a copy of this book and see some of what she's going to say later on today. We also have Ashok Kumar, who is the innovation head of Kalpataru Projects. This is a company headquartered in Mumbai. They recently won the Most Innovative Knowledge Enterprise Award from India. And I'm very pleased to say that another Mike Award India, a winner from India, AFCON, has agreed to speak at our next event of the Bangalore Key Community on December 17th. That will be our last event for the year. And we're going to end again with some very good keynote speakers, panel discussions, and so on. This being Bangalore, we also have lots of startups working on enterprise AI. And over the past 10, 15 years, very good solutions have emerged from startups who are solving some of the enterprise AI and knowledge needs. Today, we will have three of them in different stages of growth. We have Hack Culture, Intellect AI, and Evolve.ai, who will share with us what they are doing to help enterprises with their knowledge management initiatives. We also have, event is part of Global Knowledge Week, which is an initiative of the KM Global Network, which spans more than 25 countries, KM professionals, innovators, authors, experts, educators, and so on. And with us a bit later on to share with us what's happening with KMGN is Ved Prakash, KM consultant, ex-CKO of companies like Trans and Wipro, and more importantly, the chair designate for next year of the KM Global Network. Will share with us what's happening around the world with knowledge management, especially in this particular Knowledge Week. I want all of you also to join the panel discussion and the Q&A session after that, which will be headed by Sarika Vaje, KM Director of Capgemini Invent, and Animesh Rai, COO of Ripple's Learning. They will be joining and leading the panel discussion. And we'll end with how do we take these kinds of virtual events, physical events to other parts of India, other parts of the world, and so on. The structure of the event today is going to be, we're going to begin with some startup pitches. We follow what's called the innovation conversation methodology. We begin with what's new. We take a look at what are startups doing in the space of knowledge and enterprise. We take a look at how well is all this technology culture process working. We take a look at one very good enterprise case study from the keynote speaker, and then two more in the panel discussion after that. And the Q&A will be all about how do we all collaborate in this space? What are the opportunities for people from around the world to collaborate through KMGN and other formats to grow this whole ecosystem? In attendance today, we've got lots of people who've signed up. This is Diwali week, as I mentioned earlier. Many people said they're traveling and they'll try and log in and out between their travels. But we've had at least 25 to 30 outstanding registrations from companies such as those listed over here, everyone from Bosch to Afcons to HCL Tech and so on. In any case, those of you who are able to join us today, thank you so much. Those of you who aren't, we'll be sending you a link to the video of this recording and also some of the presentations from our speakers today. A few words about myself. I'm one of the co-founders of the Bangalore K community. I've published a number of books on topics including knowledge management. We always try to bring KM authors also in our events. I'm very pleased to say that today we have one more author. We have Leila Maroof, who will be speaking to us. And in the past, we've had other outstanding authors like Stan Garfield, the guru of communities of knowledge. And we also had Zachary Wall, the author of Making Knowledge Management Clickable, a very interesting book on KM systems and architecture and so on. I'm also part of the Bangalore Business Literature Festival. And what's very interesting is many literature festivals these days are talking about AI and how AI is going to maybe replace or shake up the whole publishing industry, creativity, and so on. We always evaluate books for our literature festivals. And we had the author of the first book here on the screen, The Human Edge in the AI Age, who came and spoke at the panel discussion. Some of the other very good books out there, which we will feature in future editions, will be The Co-Intelligence Revolution, How Humans and AI Co-Create New Value, and also one on AI literacy, winning with AI. So with that, I finished my welcoming remarks. I want to hand over to my colleague, Vinay Dora, who's actually in Bangkok right now. And he's going to share with us a bit more about Mixer.world and some of our activities in Asia, Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and so on. So Vinay, over to you, and welcome to everyone once again for the Bangalore K community and the Mixer event for Global Knowledge Week. Vinay.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Great introduction, Madan. I'm at this socio-eco co-working community in Bangkok, Thailand, and we look forward to doing a lot of activities beyond across multiple locations. I hope my slides are visible. I would take a couple of minutes talking about what we do at Mixer, some of the tools that we built using Crowd Product, and also some of our global delegation initiatives. So essentially, Mixer is a hybrid platform. We work with venture capitalists, funders, founders, industry, academia. Crowd Product is the tech arm where we keep building tools that enable more outcomes and engagement for brands and partners who participate in our activities. Some of the partners we work with over the years include large companies to ecosystem enablers, from banks to social businesses to conference brands. Here are some of the companies that we have worked with in the past. These are some of the tools that we keep building. In fact, we have built another tool that can be used for conferences and trade fairs, which we will launch next month. So right from audience engagement tools to pitch deck evaluation, from prompts to videos, to a lot of things. So if our partners have some of the tools, happy to integrate it in our toolkit and offer it to some of our delegates. These are the mix of formats that we have. We work with accelerators, incubators. We do global challenges, boot camps. We do regular mixers around the world and roadshows. We also work with marquee conferences. Some of the marquee conferences include the Bangalore Tech Summit, the Thai Global Summit, many others. On the Mixer website, you'll find 200 plus pitch decks. You'll find testimonials. You'll find insights and takeaways. I also wanted to share with you some of our cross-border initiatives. Earlier this year, we were in Bali working with the government of Indonesia and the ecosystem there. We worked on food security, energy transition, water treatment. So we take some of the use cases from the local community working with enablers and the government. Last week, we were in Dubai. We were doing things around the largest startup innovation in the Middle East in Dubai. Next month, we're going to be in Singapore around the Singapore FinTech Festival. So those of you who are interested, do let us know. We can connect you to folks out there. I was also last month in Thailand for the Biotech and the Healthcare Summit. Wellness and longevity. We there around flagship on the next summit. My colleague Sai would have shared a link in the chat. During Bangalore Tech Summit, joining us for some of the networking events, mixer events, and incubation hubs at co-working spaces, at golf courses, multiple places. You can just scan the QR code and do let us know the kind of people you'd like to meet, whether startups, industry leaders, innovators, cross-border partners, incubators. A large number of folks are going to be there next month. This is between November 17th to the 20th. And those of you who want to participate virtually, we can facilitate that as well. We can facilitate meetings and all of that, just that you may not be able to connect with people in person and experience the conference. So do write to us, do schedule calls with us, and over to Dr. Madan and the team here. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thanks, Vinay. Wow, we got a full house over here. That's a very good opening session now for our startups to come to the stage. Let me invite Shreyas Aradhya to please come up and make his presentation. He's the founder of Hack Culture and he's going to be joined with one of his colleagues. So, Shreyas, over to you. You can take over the screen and share your slides. You got exactly 5 minutes.
Hi, thank you, Madan. Thanks for this opportunity. Just a quick test. Am I audible, Madan? Okay, perfect. Uh, yes, yes. Happy Diwali to everyone. So I'll just start with a quick intro. So myself, Shreyas Aradhya. I'm the founder of Hack Culture. I come from a corporate innovation background. Work with multiple corporates like Aditya Birla Capital, Accenture, and P&G. With their innovation teams to organize and manage their enterprise innovation programs, right? So allow me to share my presentation and let me know once it's visible. Is my presentation visible? Yes, perfect. Yes. So we are a 2-year-old company based out of Bangalore. So we are home for an innovation, right? So what exactly we are into is we are basically an innovation enablers, right? So we help enterprise and organization, especially to source the right solutions and talent for one of the most pressing problems of their organization, right? So few of the credentials of our company. So till now, we have done around 18 programs for multiple corporates, and we have successfully conducted around 7 co-pilots. And there are 4 startups who have born out of our initiatives. And some of the clients that we have been working with, and we are especially focused in industries like technology, BFSI, automotive, and one of few semiconductor industries like LAM and all. So these are some of the client list. And of course, our ecosystem partners. So we have been working with multiple ecosystem partners in India where they are supporting us in terms of promoting or reaching out our initiatives. Yeah. So what is the problem that we are solving today, right? So every large enterprise or every corporate today, they want to innovate like a startup. But yes, there are so many limitations for that, right? So one is the expectation setting. When I talk about the expectation setting in terms of the paid pilot or a POC that they wanted to, deliver from the startups or from the solution providers. So there is a lack in the expectations of what exactly the outcomes that they are getting. And the innovation teams are small in the corporates, so they have a lack in terms of execution. And of course, ideas get stuck, right? So these are some of the problems that all the enterprise faces in terms of their innovation journey, right? So how we are solving is we are a single platform for enterprise innovation. So we have a SaaS. I'm going to quickly give us snippets of what exactly our SaaS can do. We have an innovation management SaaS, and we are also a managed service provider, right? Our platform have an ability where you can launch any kind of a challenges, maybe internal ideation program, or you can do any external innovation program, startup engagement programs, or even an hackathons, right? So you can completely manage those programs in our product. And we also have something called as a scout, right? So let's say you have a problem statement and you want to scout for a startups or you want to scout for a solution providers through our marketplace. So you can scout for the solutions. And if you want to run any kind of a pilots or if you want to track the outcomes of your pilot, so we have an whole ecosystem where you can completely manage and collaborate your complete paid POCs or any kind of a pilots that you are running, right? Coming to the metrics that today we are working on, right? So this is an open innovation metrics that we are working on. So we cater for all the three audiences, right? So we have startups, we have individual innovators, or you can consider them as an EIRs, and also we work directly with academia or university, right? So the level of engagement that we have been working with these audience is in terms of ideate. Let's say any enterprise want to see the current startup trends that is going on in the market. We help them in startup showcase, and if they want to generate any ideas for their problem statement, so we do something called as an ideathons, where idea generation, it's basically like an idea generation program for academia or universities or individual innovators. But if you want to take the engagement more in a matured way, so it's something called as a build, right? So where startups gonna come up with the POCs, and the universities and working professionals, we deal with an hackathons, right? So we don't uh, we don't typically work in the scale terms, so we don't have much capability in terms of a joint GTM or a CVC. Our major scope lies in ideate and the build, right? So this is our metrics today, where we are helping enterprise and corporates in delivering the external innovation programs. So what are the outcomes that we are driving today, right? So one is the idea sourcing. So it all starts with a trend spot, right? So for example, today, if any organization, if they want to adopt the outside in approach, right? So they want to adopt the emerging market opportunities that is being going on, right? So for example, AI, agentic AI, blockchain, quantum computing. So these are some of the emerging technology that's been going on. So what we do is we conduct a trend spotting workshop, or you can consider as a KM workshop, right? So we conduct those workshops to the innovation leaders of the corporates, where from there we identify the use case that the company wants to adopt. From the use case discovery, so we do a crowdsourcing. So crowdsourcing can be either internal through their internal employees, or either it can be external through startups or universities as well, right? To give you a quick case study, recently we did a agentic AI and the model context protocol server KM session for an engineering team of Atlassian, right? So there were 80 engineering people, and we did an 4 hours KM session, where we had an complete workshop on A2A, agentic to agent framework, and MCP framework, right? So using a Google ADK as one of the tool. So out of that, 80 engineers came up with a 20 agentic application, right? So this is one of the agentic AI adoption, or you can consider as a trend spotting workshop that we did for Atlassian. And moving on, in terms of the another outcome that we usually drive for the startup is the scouting, the startup scouting, right? So let's say you have a problem statement and you're looking for an external startup to come and solve. So we have our own playbook, where we do a scouting process, and we also take care of the outreach in terms of reaching out to the relevant set of startups and managing their intro calls and engagement with them, and we identify the relevant set of startups for your problem state. Right?
Shreyas, you got 1 minute left.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just a quick intro. I mean, the case study about the startup scouting that we have done is one of for a Michelin company. So they were looking for an LLM and the Gen AI startups. So we had scouted around 120 plus startups for that, and out of that, 3 startups got a paid POC from Michelin currently, where it's been scaled from the organization. Right? So, and the third outcome that we have been working on is the solution co-creation, right? So as I mentioned, the POC. So we manage both paid POC and the demo day for the organization. So where we have a complete SaaS, where the complete collaboration with the external stakeholders and internal stakeholders for the POC happens in a single platform. And also the hackathons, right? So whether if you want to run any kind of online hackathons, offline hackathons, so we have a capability to completely manage the hackathon piece, right? So this is some of the solutions that we have been working on, and organizations like Google, as we have been catered for one of the hackathon for them, where 6,000 registrations we have got for the Google India hackathon, and out of that, there were 300 prototypes that's been crowdsourced from the Google, right? So this is what we have been working on from past 2 years. And I'm going to quickly give a 1-minute video. It's a demo video of our platform, how any enterprise can manage their hackathon or a challenge. So let me know the video is visible.
Yeah, go on.
Perfect. So any enterprise can host any kind of a innovation challenge, both internally or externally. So they can add a basic details about their challenge here. And either they can run the challenge online, offline, and we have a team collaboration feature as well. So once they launch the the challenge, they can also customize their registration. What exactly the crowdsourcing inputs that they want to get it from the participants, right? So they can add their themes, they can add their problem statements.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Shreyas. I think we get the idea. Yeah.
Great, Madan. I think I have pretty much covered all the aspects about what we are trying to achieve. Open for questions, so let me know if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, thanks. Maybe we'll take questions at the end after all the pitches are done. Thanks so much, Shreyas. That was very impressive. You're helping companies identify knowledge gaps and fill them up by using innovative techniques like internal hackathons, external hackathons, and so on. And I noticed that you use a tool by Cluzo. Cluzo also pitched at one of our earlier Bangalore Cake Community events. So it's good to see you startups helping each other also. That's fantastic. Let's turn now to our next speaker. First, a round of applause for everyone. A big round of applause, please, for Shreyas. Thanks, Shreyas, for starting off this session on a very good note. Let me now invite Sudeshna to come on board. Sudeshna is the CEO of Intellect AI. You can share your screen now and let's have a look at your presentation. Sudeshna, over to you.
Thanks, Madan. Very excited to be here. Just allow me a second while I pull up my screen.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, thanks for joining, Anyat. Thank you. We're just in the middle of presentations. We'll come to the panel discussion afterwards. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I think your slides are coming. You can start speaking, Sudeshna. Yeah.
Okay, I think I just one second.
It's not coming. Should we invite the other speaker to go ahead otherwise? Do you need some time?
No, I think I'm good. I forgot to click on share sound and audio. I have a video to.
Okay. You got 5 minutes.
It's still blank. Yeah.
Is it still blank?
Not yet. We can't see it yet.
The screen is still black. Yeah.
Mansi Sai, can you just assist and make sure the presentation is up?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's better the other person goes and I'll figure out the tech aspect of it.
Sure. But then you're on mute.
Sorry, do we have Rahul here now? Rahul Gupta, yeah. You can go ahead.
I'm here.
There you are. Yes. Go ahead. You have the floor. Thanks.
So I'm 5 minutes early for all you guys. So I'm Rahul. I'm the founder of Evolve.ai. I've been working in the space of AI and the data science for the last 15 years, and my education has been primarily in computer science, machine learning, at a time when machine learning was not so prominent as well. So let me quickly go through what I have been building, and I would love to take feedback from all of you guys. Just a quick check. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Perfect. So the problem that we are working on is that the old consulting is sort of dead actually now. a lot of things that McKinsey, BCG, or many companies used to reach out to them can actually be done and handled by ChatGPT in many cases. So what we are planning to do, we are working on building the McKinsey of the AI native era. It's obviously a very tall dream, but that's something we would love for us to chase. So these are some of the numbers that illustrate the deep problem within the consulting world in terms of the evolving needs of the various clients, in terms of the extremely fast pace of the Gen AI adoption. And the companies are essentially failing to adopt all the new technologies or even keep pace with what's happening in the world of AI. And some of the traditional consulting companies are not able to move as fast as their clients also. So, and they don't have a skin in the game anyways. So that is why we are planning to actually fill in that gap. The companies that actually need are not just the AI adoption, they also need the AI transformation. We really need all the companies across the world to have a very AI native way of working. And so these are certain differences between what is AI enabled, which essentially means that how people are just using Chat GPT currently, but what really it means to be AI centric, where AI products are embedded in each and every flow, where processes are redesigned, keeping in mind the AI capabilities, where the entire teams are working and trained along with co-pilots. So this is the vision which we are working with. Uh, we have been covered by some of the newspapers also on this particular thinking and the business model that we wish to follow. We are targeting these major segments. We're targeting the retail and commerce, manufacturing, healthcare, energy, and the GovTech. And the numbers illustrate the huge potential some of these companies or some of these sectors are actually having. So the overall target is $800 billion across the world. And the market that we are planning to capture in the next 3 years is around $100 to $150 million. And we are transforming this space via three different major streams. One is building intelligent workflows, which work basically behind the scenes in the companies, automating a lot of the tasks that the companies would be actually doing on their own. It could actually mean even changing the way teams are working internally. With the second vertical is the AI products. These are the products and services that the companies are offering to their customers and how they can be AI centric. And the last part is the change management. So change management is also very crucial because as companies are moving into the AI native way of working, how do we take people along with us? How do we ensure that everybody's on board, everybody's able to work responsibly, ethically, and within the paradigms of what may be even legal in some cases with AI? And we do have POCs running at various places, some in early stage discussions like Misho, Nicobar, whereas in some cases like Green Hydrogen Energy Services, we already have MOU signed and we are working with the Ministry of Natural Resources and Gases on some of those other detailed projects as well. So these are some of the examples in which how we are transforming different elements. So the first part is the intelligent workflows. So in terms of the intelligent workflows, we are actually building something known as MR and you can quickly see a demo that within Slack itself, like if somebody asks what's the year-on-year growth, so this agent actually looks into your Slack, your Google Docs, every kind of knowledge system that you have within the company to fetch data from that, pull it out and give you the response within Slack. And it also extends into Google Docs, it also extends into many other kind of areas where people generally need quick answers. And similarly, we also have a lot of other project products like prompt library, customer insights platform. I'm just running out of time as well. Customer insights platform, helping managers also learn different elements about their teams using Coach Hub. We also have a smart product development engine, which actually integrates with this Emma bot and enables some of the product managers to quickly draft their PRDs, to quickly draft the QBRs in the click of a button. So you are essentially powering the whole enterprise knowledge and bringing it into your product development. And so I won't go into the demos and all right now for these.
Yeah, Rahul, you got 1 minute.
Okay, so these are the second vertical is on the AI products. So these are all the customer facing or the client facing solutions that some of the companies work with us. For example, how do we help using conversational AI the retailers? So there are already partnerships between Shopify and OpenAI, for example. So we advise and work with some these companies to integrate these agents into their workflows. AI concierge also, which basically uses voice, integrates image search, and gives recommendations to the client on the basis of their past behaviors. Virtual try-ons. So these are some of the solutions that we help our clients with. And the last part is on the change management as well. So we understand that change management is very crucial in the world of AI adoption. So that's why we have proper dedicated workshops to figure out our strategy for the company. We also enable training. We also enable community learning and different kind of nudge engines so that people are also able to understand what other employees are able to achieve via AI. So some of these are in-house tools that we are building, but we are also very open to exploring the other stacks that are existing out. So when we consult our clients, we are not just restricted to only one set of tools. We are pretty much open to either developing on our own or even leveraging from the market. And the team currently comprises of like a mix of people from the change management side and from the technical side with immense experience in leadership roles at Uber, Amazon, McKinsey, Blinkit, etc. So we do have a full stack covered in terms of the skills that we bring to the table. And there are early recognitions also with Niti Aayog and some of the early awards as well with PhD Chamber in terms of the work we did with them. And so, yeah, thank you so much. I think that's evolved for you guys, and would love to take questions whenever the question session opens up.
Sure.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Madam.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Rahul. We'll take Q&A afterwards. We'll be very happy if you can share your presentation with us afterwards also. Let's turn to Sudeshna. Sudeshna, are you ready to go? Or yeah, okay, good. You got 5 minutes. Thanks. Go on.
Awesome. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today. I am the co-founder and CEO of Intellect AI, and Intellect is currently some of the largest enterprises go-to platform to lead customer conversations. The problem that we are looking at is a very expensive problem globally. It amounts to close to $80 billion, where enterprises lose, or I would say rather bleed money, because their contact centers are currently on legacy stack. And there are multiple problems like people not following up on time, information going completely haywire because they were not collected and stored correctly. And today there is there is no dearth of options, but the biggest challenge that lies for the enterprise in terms of solutions that are available in the agentic era is how can I trust AI to actually do something which is the front face of the brand. So we're essentially looking at four fundamental problems. One, that the existing stack is very old, like it's existing for the last 20 plus years, and it has not seen any fundamental shift in terms of how it operates, despite organizations modernizing completely in terms of their operation style. Second is we have so many voice AI companies out there, but majority of these companies are actually just at a pilot layer. To take a voice AI to production means that the enterprise will have to risk compliance breach fees, reputational risk, a lot of money spent with consultants, so on and so forth. The problem list is actually never ending. So what we have built in Intellect AI is very interesting. It's a platform that brings together voice AI agents and backend agents, which just gets a lot of work done. Now, just imagine a contact center agent doesn't just talk, right? On a call, they are updating database records, they're creating tickets, sending mail, and a bunch of tasks that they're doing. And our agents mimic exactly the same thing. It talks, it thinks, it executes, right? And it's completely auditable, which makes us extremely friendly for a large organization. On my screen is an email. So this is one of the largest utilities provider of the country. And their manual call, because of the manual operations in the call center, they were losing close to $27 million every year. And the problem was very simple. People wouldn't just follow up on time. And with Intellect AI, they were able to improve the contact percentage. So this is essentially, I'm talking about people who would come onto their website, fill up the form and register their interest. The agent has to capture the interest, give the customer a call and qualify the customer to become a proper sales lead, right? Now, within this funnel, a lot of drop-offs would happen, which means that they would lose top line, right? So with Intellect AI, they are able to directly impact their P&L performance and improve the number of qualified leads onto the platform. And a testimony to that is them sending us an email with a detailed breakdown of what was happening with manual AI calling and how Intellect AI really helped them move forward. Very briefly, for the brevity of time, I want to touch upon on how the system works, but at a very, very high level. So Intellect AI brings three components together: telephony, voice agents, and workflows. Telephony is where all your dialer channels, telco operations lie. You don't really need another telecom provider if you are working with us. Second is we have pre-trained voice agents for more than 5+ industries like lending, utilities, hospitality, so on and so forth, trusted by leading brands. And the third part is the insights and knowledge management. Every contact centers has SOP, and all they need is that SOP to be executed 24/7 into 365 and resulting into outcomes like sending mails, updates, replacing L1 tasks, so on and so forth. We actually help you go from idea to production in just a day in terms of your pilot. And of course, we will need some more time with you in terms of implementation that we are doing. Couple of things.
You got 1 minute left.
1 minute, yeah.
Next.
So the last bit is essentially I want to play a call and so that you get a feel of how the agent works.
Good afternoon, Mr. Roy. This is Ava from Acme Corp Energy. I'm reaching out regarding your unpaid bill of $92,080 for March. Would you like to pay now or schedule it for later?
I thought I paid this already. When was this due?
The bill was due on March 31st. I've checked your history. No payment was received after March 28th. Would you like me to resend the invoice?
Yes, please. And I'll need until Friday to clear it.
No problem, Mr. Roy. I've scheduled your payment for April 19th and paused late fees. You'll receive the invoice and confirmation via email within 2 minutes. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
Thanks. Also, will this affect my credit rating?
Not at all. Your account is marked in good standing as long as the payment is made by Friday. Would you like to set a reminder call for that?
Yes, set it for Thursday.
Done. You'll receive a reminder at 10 a.m. on Thursday. Thank you, Mr. Roy, and have a great day.
So very, very quickly, one critical thing that we do differently from our competitors, they actually use everything LLM. We have a combination of smaller models and larger models, which means that we are extremely economic compared to our competitors in production. And since I'm a bit out of time, I covered almost everything I had to cover. Here is a QR that you can scan. And if you want to explore what we are building, please feel free to reach out, or I'm in the call. Please feel free to DM. Thank you so much, Madan and the team for this opportunity. And any questions that you have, I can definitely take up later when you're doing the Q&A. Thank you.
Very nice. Thanks so much, Dishna. A great example of technology pushing the limits and overcoming the gaps of human beings and how humans and agents can work together. We'll have Q&A afterwards, and there's a whole panel discussion towards the end, but we're running slightly behind time, so I should jump immediately into our next segment, which is the keynote address by Dr. Leila Maroof. Leila, over to you. Leila is the author, as I mentioned earlier, of this excellent book called Knowledge Mindfulness, published by Forbes Books. So you all should definitely get a copy of this book, or you can get a sneak preview from Leila right now on what the book is about, what her work is all about, and how she can collaborate with all of us and what we can do with her. So Leila, over to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. And thank you so much for
joining us.
inviting me. Thank you.
And for joining us all the way from Kuwait.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. And I want to thank our really great entrepreneurs with the great ideas, all amazing, amazing ideas. And I think today's knowledge mindfulness talk is really mostly anchored towards all of you, the younger and too young to retire, as I call them in the book. So let me share my slides so we can start. And please tell me that you're seeing this. Is it clear, madam?
Yeah, it's perfect. Go ahead.
Okay, is it on it's fine like this with no slideshow?
You can go to slideshow, that might be easier.
Okay. Yeah. So as I said, thank you so much for our entrepreneurs. But as we are all embarking on what I call a turning point in human history, I see that all of our attention, or at least 90% of our attention right now, is on AI's capabilities, building the tech side of all this embarking in this new world. And I just feel so much that it is time to shed some light on the human side, the overlooked side, that many of you maybe with the pressure of time, with the pressure of so much of what's going on in the world, we're kind of not neglecting, but overseeing. And this is what I think today's presentation is all about. It's anchoring the human in the age of AI and not to forget that. So as you all know, we have really now, we are standing on a crossroad, not a tipping point, it's called a turning point in human history. And as you all know, definitely, the speed of change now is just incredible. And that implies that we have a very much shorter life of the knowledge we have right now. We are in a journey of continuous change. The disruptions are happening more often. The complexity of things, how we make sense of the world around us right now, is very challenging. That's why many of the younger generations, especially, are very much disoriented, confused. They can't make sense of many of the events that are happening in this world. And of course, we are in a world that is so unpredictable. The old maps don't work anymore, not as effective. So there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. These are all symptoms and traits of what I call the perfect storm. So what I mean by the perfect storm is that we still see a lot of the literature out there, a lot of the solutions out there targeting one side, either the increased change or the increased uncertainty or the increased complexity. But what we need to pay attention to, that today's problems are very much a system. It's what I call the perfect storm because it combines all that together. And to pay attention that this is something that we have never encountered in our human history before. And that's why I am shedding some light on how we can anchor the human side also, especially when you hear people like Bill Gates, like Elon Musk talking about, oh, you know, the humans are what? They will not be needed for most jobs in the next decade. When you hear so much of the talk about laying off 27,000 employees in Amazon just from 2022, 1 million robots taking the jobs of human beings in manufacturing companies, 60,000 employees in one manufacturer in China for Foxconn just been laid off. All this just raises the alarm. It just puts a red flag that just we need to pay attention to. And that is why I just ask you very quickly to put into the chat, do you think you are ready to the perfect storm that's coming? Do you have that life jacket, all of you? Because really, this is what I think, number one, we need to think about, that perfect storm that's coming. It's easy to neglect it. It's easy to ignore it, you know, and it's easy to focus on one thing or another. But this kind of question has been given to a C-suite of leaders. Accenture report just, I think last month, issued this report about how the C-suite leaders are they aware of the fast-changing world around us, the complexity? 90% of them said, yes, we are aware. But the really tricky or really eye-opener is only 40% of those leaders are ready, or they think even they're ready, 40%. And that is down from 46% just in January, the beginning of the year. So you can understand this system that is going on and that we are embarking on, with one focus that I see is just building the AI capability, focusing on the technology, because that is also the easiest way to feel we are in control. But it is a great way, don't take me wrong, but it's not complete. And this is why in 2020, when COVID hit, I think, just to give you a brief, I didn't even talk about that. For 20 years, I have been in the knowledge management arena. In school, I graduated from School of Information Sciences, took my PhD from University of Pittsburgh with a focus on social networking and how it affects our knowledge sharing in organizations. And for 20 years, research, published 40 articles, peer-reviewed, taught, research, consultancy, all that. 2020, when COVID hit, that was the first time in 20 years that I had time to reflect. I had time to really kind of absorb what is going on in the world. What are the changes that are happening? If a disruption like this happens and disrupts and closes the whole globe, okay, are we ready for the next disruption? How are we going to be ready? All these questions came to my mind when I was doing that, sitting for 6 months in Boston. I was supposed to do a sabbatical with MIT's Open Learning Center. Instead, I published the book in 2023. And this book is really about readiness for the world and the perfect storm we're getting into. And the foundation is definitely knowledge management. But in those 6 months, what I realized that if we think of knowledge in the old ways, in the old models, in the old way of thinking, we will not go anywhere. And that's where I thought we need to first transcend our relationship with knowledge. Why now? Because of the perfect storm. The perfect storm means we are in a chaotic world. And whenever we are faced with a chaotic world and a chaotic situation, the best approach is to zoom out. It's the holistic approach, the big picture. So transcending from looking at knowledge just as a thing to be accumulated to looking at it as a living system to be nurtured. This was my first realization. And when we look at it as a living system to be nurtured, it's not only going to give us that leverage to pinpoint where is the core problem in our flow of knowledge? Where do we target that brings us big results? Remember, we are in the perfect storm. The speed of change is of essence. And when we think of the speed of change, we think only of technology. But for us, the adaptability, the creativity of us inside is a big part of that system. And that's what brings me to this. So for today's world, for today's chaotic world, what we need is a bridge that bridges the benefits from leaders to teams to organizations in the same intervention. We don't have time to just focus on this or that. That's why in those 6 months, when I really digged into the personal knowledge management, and of course, I have all the foundations for knowledge management, I thought, what is the bridge that can bring all the benefits of the personal knowledge management with the team dynamics, with the organizational benefits? And this is why I thought knowledge mindfulness, it's like a knowledge management that is transcendent, that suits more this turbulent world that we're living in. And this also brings me to another realization, how we need to transcend in our thinking, in our practices from the knowledge worker to the knowledge mindful leader. And why do I say that? Knowledge worker is a coined concept by Peter Drucker in 1959, imagine. And the whole focus of Peter Drucker is here, performance. That was the knowledge worker. The knowledge worker is the white collar employee who uses his thinking, uses his knowledge to get surfaces and increase performance as he goes. And this was the challenge for all these years and all this decade. The challenge was, how do we increase the knowledge workers' performance? And now with AI into this equation, what is our competitive edge as human beings? And this is where our competitive edge lies. As knowledge mindful leaders, we need the ability to create trusted connections, connections within ourselves, connections with the other, connections with the world. And this is why I'm talking about the ripple effect, about the system thinking of knowledge management in ways that will give us efficiency, not only in the solution, but also in the networking and within ourselves. So a lot of that vibes of the interconnection that I was thinking about when I was thinking of knowledge mindfulness. A very interesting report that came from the World Economic Forum was really the core skills that are needed for 2030. Again, you look at this part, which is really what they're talking about in 2030, and what do you see? You see, of course, AI, big data, like all our entrepreneurs are focusing on. But look at this. This is a bundle of skills that it is a must. It is really a must if you want to survive and thrive in the coming perfect storm that we were talking about. And this is where knowledge mindfulness excels, because these separated skills they're talking about in the knowledge mindfulness framework, which I'm going to introduce you now slightly because of the time, is really about putting this bundle in a very connected manner. Again, a ripple effect. How do, from one framework and focusing on evolving the knowledge maturity of leaders out there in organizations, we can have that bundle of skills and develop it and expand it and evolve it. And this is why I feel that we really also need to transcend from our thinking of lifelong learning to lifelong knowing, being, and doing simultaneously, because this is what knowledge mindfulness is all about. Lifelong learning, and still everyone talks about it as the main skill. You have to always be curious. You have to, always continuous learning. But learning is, again, a very linear way of thinking that suits mostly a subtle, slower world, a more straightforward world, which is not the case right now. And this is why I feel the knowledge mindfulness framework is suited, because it's a system thinking or a system solution to that perfect storm, which is out there, we are there right now, just in the middle of it. Again, just to give you very small numbers, I think the CEO of Ford, Jim Farley, he talked about expecting 52% or half of the white-collar workers to totally disappear in the next decade. So again, what is our competitive edge? Think always about that. As knowledge mindful leaders, we are really equipped with this foundation of knowledge management, but we just need to expand our full spectrum of knowledge, how to recognize it and utilize it in ways that will bring us that ripple benefits that we were talking about. So here, if you look at the framework, you can see the focus is on the interconnection, the flow of knowledge between the leaders, their teams, and the organization. We also very much embrace the unknown, because we were talking about an unpredictable world out there. Don't forget, we don't have maps. This is the unknown that is out there that we need to pay attention to. As much as we can really manage the known, okay, we really, really need to transcend also and bring the unknown into the equation. How can we prepare for that? So when you have all that in an elegant, solution that can help you realize and pinpoint where is really the core problem, because of the time, the speed, Everything is going so fast. Everything is moving so fast, but we're not moving as human beings inside us, in our thinking, in our models, in our everything in our lives as fast as the technology is moving. And this is where I think our new intelligence that embarks on really transcending how we look at all this. What is the connection between our new intelligence and leadership, the new ways of leading? How is that interconnected with innovation and transformation, the impact you want out there? If you really zoom out and look at the big picture and where these interconnections play, then you can target. This is where I need, and then you'll see that ripple benefits that we were talking about. I have a very quick example here, because again, a very disturbing number that I read the other day was about 52% of organization, Fortune 500, imagine from 2000, they disappeared, they're out, bankrupt, this, that. So imagine in these turbulent times, in this perfect storm, really how many of the organizations are going to be able to stand the perfect storm. Think about it that way. I got this very interesting case study, which there's no time to go through it, but I invite you to look into it. This is a Swedish company that I can't even say the number without smiling. It's been there for 700 years, believe it or not, 700 years. I can't believe it. I mean, 25 years, 50% of Fortune 500 organizations have disappeared. So imagine. So how? This is the big question. How? How can we learn by case study like this? Of course, the business model, very much transformational. They're very sensitive about their external context. They're very much adaptable, creatively adaptable. But what is interesting, they lean into what? Their core values too. As an organization, as founders, as leaders, they really, really anchor all their business models transformation within those core values that bubble up. Why? Because that's the guide. In this perfect storm, what do we need? Like we talked a minute ago, we need good connections, trusted connections. Because in this perfect storm, as much as we think we know, as much as we think we're smart, as much as we think we have the technology, we need each other. Because as one, I think FEMA, when I think in Texas floods happened, what she said caught my attention. She said I could, take the phone up at 2 a.m. in the morning and call X and tell them I need your help. And this is the way we need to think going forward. We have the technology, we have the knowledge, but as much as we have it individually or nationally, what we need to think is in today's world, it's such a turbulent world, we need each other, humans, more than ever, more than ever. And I know what's happening is the opposite. And that's why knowledge mindfulness is about building bridges. It's about looking at similarities as much as differences. And this is why we're talking about the core human values that can bubble in and do that bridging between everyone. So you can tell me, where do I start? What do I start? Like, everyone says, what do I do on Monday? So there is a methodology. It's not a theoretical thing, definitely. It's very much a practical framework that talks about, but the difference in knowledge mindfulness, it really treats the dichotomies as allies and not enemies. So we always look at the two sides of the coin, as valuable as we want. Why? Because what we need is wise, knowledgeable leaders out there. We need the wisdom to infuse with our intelligence. The wisdom, why? Because at times and situations, you will say, what is the right thing to do here? You have all the AI solutions that you're talking about. At the end, AI has what? 0, 1, has white and black. And we know in today's human life, we have multicolors with situations where it's not only black and white. And that's why I'm emphasizing, don't forget that part too, the human. When you talk about a decision making, sometimes you will say, what is the right thing to do here? Not is what we can do here. So we talk about notice what you're consuming and how good is your digestion as a metaphor. So yes, we learn. Why I opted to the word knowing and not learning, because learning is a part of this equation. The unlearning takes place, the digestion, the metabolism, how fast you do that. This is a big part of the story and the methodology. Also, we need to create spaces for connection and disconnection. When we talk about connection, we're not only talking about connecting with others. First of all, you connect with yourself. So you need to create the space to connect with yourself and disconnect. Same with others, same with the world. And then you need to embrace the unknown. So that's why knowledge mindfulness combines the logical, rational with the intuitive knowledge. We target the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. And I'm going, sorry, fast, but I'm very aware of the time. And I totally understand when there's a limit. So I just want to keep you really with a last word. Don't forget the human in all your solutions. Don't forget, despite everything we're talking about, we cannot beat AI in performance. Remember that. So yes, we're going to align. Yes, we're going to put solutions out there. But I think I'll leave you with one sentence that I read the other day, and it was very, very enlightening for me. And that was, the danger is really not in the machines being more human. It is in the human being more like a machine. So please please be human with your energy, with your decision, with your wisdom, with your sense making, with your foresight. Because again, knowledge mindfulness bridges that wisdom from all aspects. When I say the full spectrum of your knowledge, we're bringing the past, whatever works from the past, into the present moment with your good judgment, with your timely judgment, and also your ability to foresee the future. So having that, even the long spectrum of time in your mind is very much the case. And thank you so much for everything. I hope I did it so quickly, Madan. I hope I kind of pinpointed the full thing. Thank you
No,
so much.
you did. Yeah, that's brilliant. In fact, those of you who haven't read the book must check it out. She also talks about a three C's framework: create, connect, and capitalize. But you must keep reinventing each of these each time. So the big enemies of our age are isolation and arrogance. If you're too confident that I know everything, then you're going to be setting yourself up for failure. And if you're isolated from current trends, you're definitely going to be behind the game. These are just some of the messages in the book. Thanks, Leila. I think all the entrepreneurs also and the established corporates will
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
Madame.
the very core
Yes.
of the human role. In fact, earlier I showed in one of my slides the book, The Human Edge in the Age of AI. So this is a guy who's written 3 other bestsellers on data, analytics, etc. And his third book suddenly comes all the way back to the human being. So
Yes.
things are changing so fast. We have to reinvent
Yes.
what it means to be
Yes.
humans in the age of the machine. So that's brilliant.
Exactly.
Thanks so much.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. I'll just
Thanks,
say
Leila.
one last thing
Yeah,
is
please,
when
please.
we think of creating value, think creating value doesn't always have to be only in numbers. Creating value is very much also a niche now when you have that wisdom. As an entrepreneur, you're pitching all these ideas, but also what you're pitching is yourself. You're pitching who you are, you're pitching your character, you're pitching your wisdom in many ways and how consistent you are. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Leila. And please do stay on for the rest of the sessions. Also,
Yes,
we've got
thank
another
you.
hour or
Yeah.
so. And the next speaker is also very important for you to connect with. The next speaker is Ved Prakash, who's the next acting chair of the KM Global Network. He will be the chair next year. Also, a veteran as ex-CKO in Trans, Wipro, whole bunch of other companies. Ved, over to you. Please give us an update on what's happening with the KM Global Network and this whole event, which we're a part of, Global Knowledge Week. So a big round of applause to Leila. Once again, everyone, a big round of applause for Leila. And let's also use the same applause to welcome on board Ved. Ved, over to you now. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Madan. And it was really great to listen from Lala about knowledge mindfulness. So plenty of food for thought. So coming to KM Global Network, it is a network of KM networks from around the world. So we have more than 25 countries who are part of this network. It's a completely voluntary, not-for-profit organization based out of Singapore. And the whole objective is to bring together all the KM enthusiasts from across the world so that they get a common place where they can interact with each other, share their knowledge, etc., through a variety of activities such as conferences, roundtables, knowledge cafes, expert sessions, sharing of case studies, quizzes, etc. Right. So currently, we are in the midst of what we call a KM Global Week. So this is something that we discussed within KM Global Network, that just like you have an international day for environment, international day for XYZ, there is nothing called a international knowledge day. And when we discussed it a bit further, we said that no, you can't have a single day for knowledge. It is something that pervades across all the time for all of us, whatever discipline we are working in. So we sort of narrowed down on let's celebrate knowledge through a global knowledge management week. Right. So this is an initiative where the KM community, including countries, networks, organizations, and individuals, they organize local events to promote knowledge management. There are local events, there are regional events, there are global events as well. And what KMGN as a not-for-profit organization does it, we provide all the coordination and support that is required. So it could be, for example, setting up Eventbrite for registrations or providing space on on the internet for any event to be hosted or any country pages to be hosted over there. So the key objective of KM Global Week is basically, first and foremost, is to raise awareness on this discipline called knowledge management. Because while all of us recognize it's extremely important for organizations to manage their knowledge, if we look at the literal sense of knowledge management, but it obviously goes far beyond that. It's also about driving KM adoption in organizations, because this is something that is a running battle in terms of proving the ROI of KM initiative within an organization. It's about fostering global collaboration. So as a result of KM Global Week, we have Madan bringing in speakers from around the world for, say, this event or the other events that are happening through different networks. It's about amplifying the impact of KM that is being made in different ways an organization is running. And when I talk of an organization, I'm not just talking of for-profit industry firms. We are also talking of academia, we are talking of government, we are talking about the startup ecosystem, etc., etc. Okay. So overall objective then is to strengthen the game community, spread the good word, and celebrate success. Okay. KM Global Week is being held from October 20th to 24th. So we are on the third day of KM Week, and it's happening through interactive workshops, through knowledge campaigns. There are webinars and panel discussions happening. Gamified challenges are there. Awards and recognitions are happening. There are demos that are happening, and these are happening across the world. Let me cite some statistics. So there are, as we speak, there are close to 100 events that are getting organized across 22 countries. Some are country specific, as I said, some are global in nature. It's not just KM Global Network that is giving blessings to these events. There are also partners like SIKM Community run by Stan Garfield, or KM for Dev, Knowledge Summit community of Dublin. They're also part of this whole celebration of knowledge management. The countries that are participating include, from Asia, for example, there's India, Thailand, Israel, etc. Australia is there in a big way. From the Americas, we have USA, Argentina, Brazil, who are participating. By the way, Argentina is launching its formal KM network as part of the celebrations of Global KM Week. Within Europe, we have Germany, Austria, Ireland, Russia, Slovenia, UK, Armenia, Switzerland. All of them are having many different sessions as part of the week. Within Africa, we have South Africa taking the lead, but we have Central African Republic, Kenya, Senegal, Cameroon, Botswana, Namibia. So multiple countries are organizing various events, big or small, around KM Week. And the topics vary quite a bit for different aspects, right from strategy to the actual execution, the human side of knowledge management, especially with respect to intersection with AI, etc. Right. So this in brief is about the Knowledge Week. Let me probably share a couple of links where you can find the complete list of activities that are happening. Some of them are on the calendar, not all are on the calendar though. I must admit that. So you are free to join any of those. Most of these, I've just put it in the chat window. Okay. And you can check out more on the KM Global Network itself by going to the homepage and then traversing through. Find out who are the partners, who are the representatives for different local networks, etc., etc. But yes, for the immediate, coming days, if you could look at all the activities that are there, multiple sessions, and if any topic interests you, please feel free to join that event. The joining details or the registration details are present over there. So any questions, please feel free to DM me on LinkedIn or over here.
Great. Thanks so much, Ved. That was Ved Prakash from the KM Global Network giving us an update what's happening in different countries around the world. That's till Friday, right? This week, till Friday, we got events.
That's right. And not only that, some events are going to extend beyond as well. So for example, I'll be hosting a session on 7th of November that is around co-creating certain new knowledge around some of the imperatives facing knowledge management.
Fantastic. Great. Thanks, Ved. Thanks so much. Everyone, please check out the chat window. There's some very good links over there where you can plug into other events like this around the world. And we also have our own Bangalore K community. This meeting happening again on December 17th, the last one for the year. So a lot of activity on the KM front in India and around the world. Let's now turn to our second keynote speaker. He's joining us now from Mumbai, I believe. Ashok Kumar, among other things, heads innovation at Kalpataru Projects. And as I mentioned earlier, they are one of the winners of the Most Innovative Knowledge Enterprise Award. So, Ashok, a big congratulations to you and your whole team for putting your company on the global map, putting India on the global map for innovation and knowledge management. So, round of applause, please, for Ved for his KMGN inputs, and also now to Ashok Kumar for giving us in the next few minutes his view on KM from Kalpataru project and some of his thoughts on AI and all the other topics we just spoke about. Ashok, over to you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Madan. Thanks a lot for the opportunity. Can I share my screen?
There's a share button.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, got it. It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. Yes.
Yeah, just click on which presentation you want to share.
Yeah. Okay. Is it visible?
We are still seeing your window.
No, you still have to click.
Okay.
Reshare it to the presentation now.
Yeah, reshare your screen to the presentation if it's open somewhere.
Let me do it once again.
Yeah.
Is it there?
It's
Not
coming in.
yet.
Yeah.
Now we can see your screen now. Yes.
Okay. Looks like there is some lag. Okay. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Quick disclaimer. So I'm not from KM community. So my presentation you might find some way going haywire. Just let me know. So quickly, I'm going to talk about two or three things rather. So my quick introduction. So I am Ashok Kumar. I've got almost 25 years of experience in consulting in manufacturing, and currently I'm working in infrastructure field for last couple of years, right? So I'm senior vice president, strategy and innovation in Kalpataru projects based out of Mumbai, right? So I think the context was that we recently won this Mike Global Award, and we are actually qualified for the Global Award. So results for the Global Awards will be coming probably in the some week, sometimes in December, right? So quickly, I'm going to talk about three things over here. Digital transformation and uses of AI in EPC industry. When I say EPC industry, it means engineering, procurement, and construction industry. So it is nothing but infrastructure industry. And the key work what we have done in the area of knowledge management, right? So these are the two or three topics what I'm going to discuss. Something about my organization. So just a moment. Yeah. So we are almost a close to $3 billion company. We are into construction space. We have got operations in more than 80 countries, and almost 45% of turnover is coming through international operations. We are into multiple line of business, power, T&D, oil and gas, B&F, railway, multiple area, right? So I'm reading strategy over there. So talking about the first part, which is digital transformation in EPC industry, right? So that is the first area I'm going to discuss about. So I think we are in an industry where lot of our projects are linear in nature. When I say linear in nature, talk about road project or railway project or transmission line projects. It is normally stretched over 400 kilometers, 500 kilometers. Sometimes it goes beyond 1,000 kilometers also, right? So now working in an industry which is sort of unorganized, which is linear in nature, spread across the geography, there are multiple challenges, and these challenges are the uh, points or pointers which probably pushed us to go for AI and digital transformation. The topic about challenges part, first part is planning and scheduling. It's very difficult to have a view of project which is spread across the geography. Uh, it's very easy to monitor a project which is at one place. Let's say if you're talking about a building or a factory, it's located at one location. But if you're talking about a project which is spread across thousands of kilometers, it's very difficult to monitor the project progress. It's very difficult to monitor the progress of manpower, equipment. Very difficult to track, right? We are getting multiple data from multiple data sources. Excels of the world still rule the roost, right? So multiple data sources. You don't know which data is correct, which data is wrong. Too much data, too few insights, right? Cost control, and most important, adoption of any digital tool in construction industries quite difficult if you compare with an industry like manufacturing, which is much more evolved, right? In construction industry, you have got laborers which are not very qualified. On daily basis, labor force is changing. It's very difficult to train those people. So these are the key challenges which most of the EPC or construction industry is facing. And that actually forced us and led us to go for digital transformation or usage of AI tools, right? Talking about digital transformation and AI, some of the data. The construction industry globally actually covers almost 13% of GDP. And I was reading in one of the report, AI is spent in 2025 globally. Currently, it's close to $5 billion, which is going to be almost $15 billion by 2030. In next 5 years, spend on AI only in construction market is going to be 3 times. So that is the way industry or people are actually adopting to AI part. Talking about one of the reports of McKinsey in 2022, talking about it will lead to increasing labor productivity by 15 to 30%, throughput by 10 to 30%. Similar reports we are getting through IBM Global Service Report only. So limited point is digital transformation and AI, it's going to be future. And there are already companies, already industry, which are although slightly late, they are making up very fast to adopt to different tools, right? So if we talk about the different digital information practices, what we have adopted, so I don't know how much of you will be able to correlate what. So there are almost 20 odd I have written over here. Important part would be probably use of IoT, RPA, digital twins, BBS, robotics, mechanization, analytics tool, computer vision. All of these, what you are seeing it over here, we have implemented into multiple projects, and we have already started reaping the benefits. I'll give you some small example. Let's say talk about the IoT part, right? So we are in an industry which requires lot of equipments for executing our projects. So now what we have done, so if we talk about KPIs, we have got almost close to 9,000 equipment spread across the world. Now each equipment I can do the live tracking through IoT sensors. Sensors have been fit in. I can check the live status of all the equipments. I can check the fuel consumption. Even if there is a simple case of fuel theft in any of the equipment, within 10-15 minutes, our team gets WhatsApp message that somebody is taking out the fuel. So I'm able to control all those equipment sitting at a map, the way you track your cab and Ola or Uber, right? And performance, productivity management. Similarly, through facial recognition tools, we are able to track all the workers, how they are working. Blockchain technology they are using extensively. So they are the almost 15, 16 area what we are talking about. So we have already implemented into multiple projects across the board, and we are reaping benefits. So same thing I have mapped it. If we talk about our industry, it is called EPC industry, engineering, procurement, and construction industry. These are the tools what we are talking about. So these are the tools probably applicable more for engineering part. These tools are applicable more for procurement part, and these tools are applicable more for construction pieces, and which we are using for digital transformation. And this is the kind of benefit which we reaped by using those tools. Like we created a centralized PMO where like in war room, you manage all your projects, monitor all your projects sitting in a room. We created a war room where data from multiple sources were coming at one location in one data lake. On data lakes, we put the layer of analytics, and earlier data which was coming through almost 20 to 30 different sources, everything is now coming at one single source, and we are able to track every bit of project, be it physical progress, financial progress, engineering progress, procurement progress, manpower, drone data. We are flying drone to monitor our projects. Everything is coming at one single location, and end-to-end tracking of project we can do. We have got a big room, big size TV, where you can have multiple screens at a single point of time, and all the parameters you can track. Similarly, talking about tracking of equipment, tracking about material, workmen, we have created using virtual reality multiple training tools, which is very effective, especially for safety part. So all those SOPs, important processes, important safety part, we have created small content, which we use to train our worker on the ground. So if we use normal video or PPTs, efficacy of those videos or PPTs is not that effective. With more immersive experience of AR and VR tools, we are able to reduce the number of accidents, number of fatalities due to this particular tool. We are using drones extensively for multiple purposes, 3D printing, robotics. Recently, we also started using Gen AI into multiple projects in a multiple way. I got small slide on Gen AI also, the kind of work we are doing and the kind of work construction industry is doing in the field of AI. Right? So these were the tangible benefits. We are able to reduce overall overhead costs, fuel costs, material costs, worker costs. We are able to reduce safety accidents, right? So we are able to promote data-driven culture. So they are more tangible in the nature. Apart from these benefits, we are able to have a complete cultural shift, right? So we are moving from a culture where it was more of a hunch driven. Now everything is data driven, right? So that's a major thing. And second major change, what we are able to do is a single version of truth. Earlier, we have got multiple Excel sheets, multiple reports, PPT, right? And reviews were being done on those. Now, all our reviews are done online on analytics platform. So there is a single version of truth. Nobody can change it, right? And you don't need to spend time creating PPTs or Excels for any review. So these are the two major changes. And thanks to Gen AI, we are not only getting data, we are also getting actionable automated insights. So, right, you can ask question, a Gen AI tool will automatically throw insights. Like it will tell you, these are your 5 worst performing projects in terms of working capital. These are your top 5 best projects in terms of revenue or profitability. So all those kind of actionable insights, we are directly getting it without even actually analyzing the data. So this helps us to take action on select few projects where probably we need to spend more time. So this kind of things which we are getting through AI, right? But adoption of digital tool or digital transformation journey, it actually comes with a lot of challenges. It's not that easy, right? So here I try to list out the challenges what we face. Firstly is unclear business case, right? Normally, if you try to adopt technology without identifying the business problem, it is bound to fail. Secondly, if we are going to adopt technology just because it is prevalent, just because others are doing it, it's not going to work. You need to detail out a complete digital roadmap, then only you'll be able to be successful. Then you obviously need to have a buy-in of the leadership team. You need to have a right skill set and cultural issues. With digital tools, lot of transparency comes into the system, and sometimes lot of people are not very comfortable with too much of a transparency because all the data, all the glaring mistakes is coming open, right? So it becomes a issue for us. So we need to manage those things. So we need to manage all those kind of things. And what we did, we started with a digital transformation journey where we aligned our digital tools or initiative business goals, created a clear-cut digital roadmap, aligned key stakeholders. Whatever digital transformation tools we adopted, we integrated with the existing carriers of our team members. Otherwise, it used to have a case that their business carriers are different, digital transformation carriers are different, or there is no digital transformation carriers, it's going to fail. And obviously, you need to have a proper governance. Right? Talking about AI, so I'm giving you some of the glimpses where actually construction industry has started using AI. Talking with the strategic planning, right? Planning earlier, it used to be probably once in a quarter process, right? Or once in a 6 month process. Now it has become sort of a weekly basis. We are getting so much of a data, real data, where you don't need to pull out multiple data. You have got multiple data sources. We have LLM models. We have different scenario analysis. We are able to do planning at a very shortened level. That is the first thing what I'm teaching in terms how AI. Secondly, is computer analysis. Earlier, we used to buy multiple reports, compile data points. Now, probably all that is not required. You need to run RPA models. It picks data from different public sources. It picks data from the reports you have acquired, and it creates automatically a computer analysis which you can go through. That's the major changes. We are in a contracting industry. We big for big ticket projects, right? Whenever we lose the projects or whenever we win the project, we analyze all those bids, how we have fared compared to our competitors. Now, these things we do not need to pull out manual data, and we don't need to deploy someone to do analysis. Those AI tools can pull out data and create analysis for you. So it has actually made computer analysis part really effective. Third is risk analysis. Now, project, be it country risk, be it project risk, all the data. So, earlier, before entering any new country, right, we used to pull out a lot of data pertaining to a country, be it political data, economic data, other risks. Now, when you talk about pastel part, right, political, economic, scientific, technology, legal, so environment risk. So all those data we used to pull out manually earlier, and then used to do analysis. Now, what we do, we just run RPA tools. It picks data from different sources, and it creates automatically country risk, which helps us to decide whether we need to enter particular country or not, how that particular country is doing. So all those things which we are doing manually, just through running RPA and writing subcodes, we are able to do it. Similarly, with scenario-based model, cost analysis, time analysis, we are able to assess whether we are able to complete the project on time or not. So these are some of the areas, BIM model, facial recognition. Now, this is one part area where we have used actually a GNAI tool, which is knowledge management. So earlier, what we used to do, we used to have a lot of data, right? We used to have platform where a lot of SOPs, data, learning from projects, everything was put at one common location. But the challenge is to identify the right file, right? Let's say if we are looking to learn something about, let's say, drone. So you need to go through all those files. You need to search right files. It is very difficult. Now what we have done, so let's say we have got close to 3,000 odd documents at a one common location. Although it has been classified based on the topic, author, right, problem area, business wise, but still it is very difficult to search for those relevant documents. Now we have put a layer of AI on top of that. The way you ask question on your chat GPT, you can ask question over here, and the chat GPT will go into all the documents available over there in the database, and it creates a customized answer. At the same time, it refers or pulls out all the documents. So it makes my life very easy, and it has also helped us to increase the adoption of knowledge management. This is one of the key areas where we have worked, and probably one of the key reason why we have won this Mike Award is developing this particular tool. And we have seen a great adoption of this particular tool once we put the layer of AI. AI we are using in HR for recruitment purpose. We have a system of 360-degree feedback. 360 feedback has some hard data and some comments also, right? So hard data, numerical data, it was very easy to analyze, but sentiment or comments, it was very difficult to analyze. Now with sentiment analysis, whatever comments we used to give, or what used to give, now even that can be analyzed using AI, and we get a good quality feedback. Similarly, for supply chain management, for commodity price tracking, for public subcontractor vendor. So there are multiple areas where we are using AI. Quick 10-second gap on this particular slide because this is important slide. Any question, any query over there? After that, I'll move what we exactly did in knowledge management in our company. Any question, any query on AI part?
Yeah, who heads the AI function? Is it the knowledge management team, or is it digital team, or is another new department altogether?
So we don't have us as such AI department or AI function. What we do, based on the use case, we identify. We have a IT team, internal IT team. We take the help of IT team. If AI internal IT team is not able to develop that content, we hire some external party. We get it developed. So there's nothing called AI function. We have IT team, and then business team, and our strategy team also works on knowledge management part. So majorly we are what you can say, the knowledge partners, or so we are the bridge between the business team and the IT team. So we work like internal consultant and either take help of internal IT team or take help of external IT players to develop any tool for us.
Great, understood. Thanks. You can go on. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was, I don't think I have much time, so I'll quickly run through the knowledge management piece, the kind of work we have done for this Mike Award, right? So some of the quick numbers, if we talk about, we have almost 70 leadership development program going on. Almost 0.1% of R&D spent of 0.1% of turnover we are spending on R&D. Last year it was almost 20.31 crores. More than 65,000 plus courses have been completed by different employees in last 5 years. Employee training, we talk about, these are the number of mandate of training last year we had, right? Employee material. This is what we are talking about, knowledge management. We have developed a portal for knowledge management where more than 3,000 documents are there, right? 2,300 employees have been trained multiple times. Almost 3,300 users are accessing this particular portal on a regular basis. So anything else? There's another platform for us for training. It's called LMS platform, Learning Management System platform. Here we have videos, training videos and tests. So once you go through the videos, you need to undergo that test to have a certification for that particular courses. Courses primarily they are technical in nature. Some of them are based on finance. Others are based on engineering part or HR part. So these kind of things are there. Then we have also developed what we call it a skill development center, KSDA, Kalpatru Skill Development Center. We have created it. This is for training workers on the ground. So we have tie-up with multiple ITI institutes, and almost last year, if you say almost 63,000 man-hours of training were imparted, right? And those trained workers are used for our own project. Almost, if you talk about CSR, close to 8 crore we have spent last year. Or ESG goals, just leave it. Now, this is another thing what we started it in line with knowledge management. What we call it Kaizen. Kaizen are nothing but a good practices, right? Or small improvement in your work. So this is actually going to help the employee engagement part, right? That's the first part. And secondly, whatever small good practices is being done at one part of the company, if it can be adopted on the other part of the company, then the benefits are significant. So this is what we have done. So almost we have trained more than 2,000 people on Kaizen training, right? And we are getting Kaizens, good Kaizens from different employees across the world. Almost 220 to 50 Kaizens we already received it. And actually it has helped us uh, in having good amount of financial saving also. So Kaizens are pertaining to productivity improvement, cost improvement, safety improvement, quality improvement. So one good practices in one project, we are able to replicate to other parts. That's also a part of knowledge management. Then we have ideation center, where we conduct multiple workshop with business team to identify business challenges, and then we come out with ideas, which are ideas can be implemented. And there's a very structured method of filtering those ideas, and some of those filter ideas are finally implemented on the ground, right? We also conduct customer satisfaction survey regularly. Our score is more than 90% on the every different business group, right? So these are the key numbers I'm talking about. So this is what we're talking about, the knowledge management portal. We call it a Kalp Gyan, right? It's an in-house developed portal. And these are the key features what we're talking about. More than 3,000 documents are already uploaded, and we have sets of experts. So whosoever contributes with content, they are regularly recognized, right? You can ask questions also. So we have listed in panel all our experts on this particular panel, depending on their expertise. Anybody can go and ask any question to an expert, and the expert gets marks, right? Or some sort of credits depending on the number of questions he is getting, the number of questions he is answering, and based on that sort of a expert passport we have created. It helps to recognize good efforts of experts. So, and as you told you, almost 70 trainings we conducted last year. More than 45,000 hits we had, 7,000 unique hits. So this is actually a really good portal. All the SOPs, processes, method statement, trainings, good practices. Whenever we complete a project, whatever learnings we have project, what has gone right, what has gone wrong, we capture it, put it over here. All SOPs are at one location. Earlier, the big challenge used to be that there were SOPs available, there were method statements available, but it was lying probably in some isolated laptops, isolated machines. We are not able to access it. Now with this particular tool, you can access everything on your app. You can access on your laptop on the go when you're working on site. If you want to pull out any SOP, any document, any best practice, you can pull it out. You can ask question the way you ask question on GenAI. So this is a really good development. Almost we worked for 1.5, 2 years to develop this tool. It's coming out very nicely, right? So this was the journey of KM, how we moved. I'm not going to that part. Very quickly I've done it, right? So we do a lot of survey also to check the efficacy of and the uses of this particular model platform. So this is actually a landing page of our KM portal. Here you can say ask. This is not GenAI feature. You can ask your question, you get all those answers, right? So we, as you told you, we conducted multiple trainings. We went to different sites. We went to different business units. So these are some of the pictures from the sites, right? Internal mailer for those who had contributed for knowledge management. We sent internal mailer on the company platform, and those were experts we recognized also. This was to promote people coming out with more and more content, right? Social media also we shared this part, right? Now there's another part we did it in terms of learning and development. So there are 4 or 5 programs, Leap, Elevate, right? So these are management development program where you pick and choose people. They go to Harvard, IITs, IIMs. They are trained over there, and they come out and they further train different people. So sort of a train the trainer. So whatever they learn over there, they come back. There is a well-defined process for that. Sadanand, you have any question, right?
I think
you talked about
go on, go on. Yes, Sadanand, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Maybe he's on mute. Anyway, go on. Let's come back to questions at the end. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. Right. So there are multiple ways of training and motivating team members. I discussed about it. So this is one type of training, ELP, where people are sent to I am Ahmedabad, I am Calcutta, and this for high performing employees there's a leave training where they go to different institutes, elevate. So they are based on different levels. So top level employees are identified. They are trained into multiple areas with a tie up with ISB, BITS, IIMs, IITs. They go different places and they further go and train us, right? Then we have tie up with MXR and other listing also. We have multiple mandatory trainings, safety trainings, functional trainings, right? So this is what we're talking about. So we take training very seriously, and last 3-4 years there's a lot of focus on training because at the end of day, quality of manpower ultimately decides our bottom line. This is what we're talking about with IITs, right? And we are also have tie up with IITs for people who wants to do MTech or let's say PhD or other kind of courses. We have a tie up with them, so they can go and join. Sometimes part of the course fee is reimbursed by the company also. So that's what I was talking about. Then we have a mentoring session for employees if they wish to choose some senior level team member. So we have mentoring sessions, right? So these are some of the numbers what we are talking about. The number of training, number of workmen, what is the course completion ratio? This you can see number of almost 2.5 mandate of employee training per year. Their number of hours of training. So they are all numbers we talk about. This is one platform we're talking about. LMS module, learning management system, where we have got videos on different areas, be it technical, be it finance, be it engineering part, be it HR training. So multiple videos are there. Post those videos, you are supposed to take tests and then clear those tests. Then there are certain mandatory training also. That's what we're talking about. So you can see the numbers.
Great.
Number
Thanks.
of courses. Yeah.
Actually, we're almost running out of time. Fantastic details, but maybe 2 more slides and you can wrap up. Yeah.
I'll wrap up. 2 minutes. I was talking about the Kaizen part, right? So Kaizen are small improvement areas, what you were talking about, which improves cost, quality, productivity, safety, those kind of things. So that we have already implemented it. We've started reaping the benefits also. Similarly, share part. This is after talking about ideation session. We conduct multiple idea generation sessions with different business units. Then we have well-defined process of filter, and those good quality ideas we implemented, right? These are pictures from the ideas process. Innovative practices I've already discussed about, right? What we have done in terms of AI, automation, tech-based initiative, productivity improvement. So probably I can have a session separately on this particular area. And then we are talking about mentorship and a leadership debriefing session. I think in the interest of time, I'll run. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, Ashok, next time I should give you a full 1.5 or 2 hours for this session. You mentioned a lot also about learning resources, and one of our next speakers will be talking about that also. They are a learning content development skilling specialist. Thanks so much, Ashok. We'll send questions to you by email maybe afterwards, but brilliant case study. Congrats on winning the Mike Award. Now I know why you won the Mike Award. You've got so many credentials to your credit. Thanks so much, Ashok. Let's go on now to our last two speakers before we wrap up. But first, a big round of applause for the Mike Award winner, Ashok Kumar, and his team from Karpataru Projects. Superb session, Ashok. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
World class session. World class. Now let's turn to our last two speakers, Sarika and Animesh. Sarika from Capgemini Invent. Sarika, are you with us?
Hi, Madan.
Yes, Sarika. Go
Yeah.
on. You got about five minutes, if you don't mind. We're running a bit out of time.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Animesh after that. Yeah. Sarika, go on. Yeah.
One moment. Hello. Thanks for inviting me. This is my first time in this session of Madan. So thanks, Madan. Okay, so I'll quickly brief you, on my role and what we are doing in Capgemini. So I am the knowledge management lead at Capgemini, and we have a team of SharePoint developers, as well as we have some knowledge management consultants. So we customize portal for clients, using a lot of modern SharePoint technologies like Power Apps, Power Automate. What we've done recently in Capgemini Invent, which is the consulting arm of Capgemini, is we have recently launched an AI-based knowledge portal only for Invent. Yeah. So similar to other consulting firm, Capgemini has a arm called Capgemini Invent, and the group is the larger group. Just to give you a background. Yeah. So we've called this portal Loomis, okay, and it's been launched this year itself. So there is a pilot portal which is been rolled out in many countries. What's fantastic about it is that the back end of the portal is SharePoint, and the front end is a lot of AI elements. So when I say AI elements, we've just begun, in terms of KM. So we have something like a slide finder, which will pop up and search for specific slides. We have something called file finder. We have something called RFP, or a pitch deck generator, which will we can add dump to 3 pitches, and the specific summary would be picked up. You can ask questions there, where the response will be given. So all this is under development. The best part, which most of us hate doing, is the sanitization part, right, where we cleansing the documents. It's a pretty monotonous task. So we are also looking at something like auto sanitization to some extent, where at least some level of sanitization will be done automatically, and eventually maybe someone would review it. We have set the processes very smartly in this. It is not that anyone can upload anything without taxonomy or etc. So there is a very, very short form. We have linked it to our Thor, or the Salesforce, so that the opportunity ID is also linked. So if someone types an opportunity ID in the portal, the entire content of that file will reflect. So we've done a lot of these things. One more interesting part is, of course, the AI part, where there is a chat function. Okay, so there is a chat function, and we have something called chat with Capgemini also. So which will search through all the repositories in the portal, and it will pop in the search as per the repositories, and it will also have in the end icon, how you see on Google, a link to the document. So that's also a great thing which was been implemented. When I say processes which we've done best, is that we have strict data protection guidelines, because this has a lot of sensitive information, like a reference or a credential or a pitch deck, which is important to be shared, so that, as a company, we work across multiple clients and multiple business units. We may pitch for the same client through 2 different offerings, right? And we should know that someone has already worked on this client. Yeah. So if we have ensured that the processes are right in place. For example, let's say when any document is uploaded by anyone, okay, so there is an option to upload and share this document in global or your country. Okay, so if it's your country, it will not reflect in the global search. So there's a tick for it. And if it's global, then it will reflect in the global search, but it's not immediately reflected. It goes in a sandbox, and there is a team who gets an alert, who sanitizes the documents and pushes it in the main library, and only then so it's not that anything and everything is there. So we have audits, and so we've done all of it. So again, this is a process, and we are doing all of it. But I would like to say something, something which I strongly believe in, that AI is only going to help us to curate the knowledge, and discover it more. And it is definitely going to help us produce, summarize, and get most meaty content from the knowledge and things like that. But there'll be always a need to get the right data, to get the right information, to upload the right document. The robust documents and all cannot be produced by AI, right? They will summarize whatever is there. So that process of connecting, cultivating, engaging is something which we as knowledge managers should continue doing. That's not going to stop. because that human element will stay, and that is something which is our USP. So I would say that, yeah, that's all from my end. Madan.
Fantastic, great. Thanks so much, Sarika. Thanks for joining us. Happy Diwali, and thanks for taking
Happy
time off
Diwali.
to
Thanks.
come and join us over here.
Thanks.
Now let's turn on to our last speaker. Last but not least, we have Animesh Rai from Ripples Media. He's going to tell us a little bit about some of his work in terms of skilling, upskilling, AI certification, and so on. Animesh, over to you. I think you're on mute.
I think this is the most repeated sentence in an online meeting. Right. So great. I think thank you, Sarika, for ending on that note. I think that gives me some food for thought to start upon. So let me maybe, as I represent a learning organization and being a trainer myself, I think let me start by first 2 minutes just putting the context in before I talk about the organization, right? So I think a lot of times what happens is when a new technology becomes real, there are evangelists, and then there are people who are not agreeing to it, and there is a lot of chaos, and there are people not completely in sync. However, I think AI is not new. It has been there for a while. Generative AI is new because it is aiming at mimicking human mind. It became real after ChatGPT came into picture. And if you look at largely what technology does is that it matures over a period of time, right? And one very, very clear example of that is, let's say, internet. We all started using in, I mean, not all, but maybe I started using in 90s, right? And then it was 2004-5 is when touchscreens came into picture. But Uber came only in 2012 or 2013, right? So there was a time when a big disruption like Uber changed the way people commute within cities, which took two technologies to come together to change the scope of how humans visualize work. So that's a very important element to see, that when we look at generative AI, are we really too excited about it? And there is nothing wrong with that excitement. I mean, there have been a lot of failed cases as well. I would want you to read about, I think IBM Watson was one where there was a diagnosis of cancer being done, and I think IBM spent $3 or $4 billion on it, and it was giving wrong results, right? There have been a number of cases where they have outsourced the customer support service department or grievance handling department based on AI, and we have seen a big drop in CSAT score. So there have been some worries in terms of, I mean, yes, there is a lot of good work happening, a lot of things, but are we really ready to move into a AI-enabled organization is a very, very fundamental question for us to ask, right? And when I say this, I think it's very, very important that before we jump into two things, what generative AI does best, and basically it does two things. If you look at, one is interaction and one is action. Now, what is interaction? Interaction is nothing but creating a chatbot. You train them on a pre-fed data on hundreds and thousands and lakhs of document, and when you engage and interact with it, it gives you a very human and X and Y kind of reply, which looks very real, that a human is engaging with you. That is what is doing. And second one is action, where you can bring in agents, and agents can do the workflow, and that can automate, and it can do, for example, somebody can book a ticket for me, right? Or somebody can do something else for me. And that is the larger, these are two key things that if you look at generative AI per se, not AI as in whole, but it is something that can do. And this is and basically it's democratizing technology, because I can code, I can create a website, I can create an app without knowing programming, and this is beautiful and this is wonderful and it's revolutionary. There is no doubt on that. But we have to understand that it would take time for it to mature, and the right way to approach for any organization today who aims at integrating generative AI in its process and system, to first do a study, right? And I think that's the approach we take. We create something called AI Readiness Index. And AI Readiness Index largely is a 4-step index or 5-step index, places you in a 4-step process in terms of whether you are AI ignorant, whether you are you are in between an AI, whether you are AI mature, and elements like this. So basically, AI absent, AI foundation, AI advanced, and AI mature is something that we go about putting you in. And then we take a 3-step approach where the first thing we do is we enable, right? We call it a 3E approach, where we enable. Now, when I say enable, I mean that the key stakeholders need to know what AI is. And trust me, a 18 or a 20 or a 22-year-old knows AI really well, but a 40 and a 45 and a 50-year-old, they may say that they know AI, or but trust me, in our workshops, in our certifications, we have realized that that's not very true, right? So technically, enabling is key, and all these key stakeholders are largely, folks who are in prime of their career, etc. And that is where enabling comes in, and also interdepartmental enablement, so that we are able to understand this better. The second is execute, which is take up a support process, take up a low risk process, and map that across to include generative AI into it, right? And then test it for a period of time, simulate certain things and test it and look at the data. And then, once it matures, then look at other support functions. So for example, are we looking at HR? Are we looking at finance? Are we looking at purchase? Are we looking at, and what are the tasks that we are looking at? And are we dividing it into able task and something that cannot be automated or needs human intervention, that kind of task? And then and once we do that for a period of 3 months or 6 months, is when we evolve, is basically when we are ready to now take Gen AI to the next level. So that's very, very important, where we may also look at core task being automated, or core task being Gen AI enabled, etc. So this is something that is the approach that we need to take. Just quickly, last 2 minutes to give a quick brief in terms of the kind of work that we do. We have certifications in Gen AI, and because the talk is only about Gen AI, we do a lot of other things, but maybe I'll restrict myself to AI itself, right? And then we have something called advanced credentials. This is purely something that we run in terms of Gen AI enablement programs. We are currently delivering programs in 60 plus countries. We are rolling out close to 10,000 certifications a year in this space. We have programs. We have a program for government. We have trained almost 5 governments so far, including government of Karnataka, including Ministry of Indonesia, including government in Qatar, including government in Oman and Nigeria. This is Generative AI for Governance. This is a program which is for government officials. We have something for leaders, which is very important. This is what I was just talking about, enabling, which largely is technically, and maybe I'll share the link of this website where you can look at what it talks about. So largely, this is something that we do. And we do for construction, we have a generative AI for construction, generative AI manufacturing, but this is the larger body of work that we do. And we have our own proprietary model. The proprietary model is called IDEA model, which is largely ideate. And this is a model that we teach, but you can also look at it and have a reference to it. So it's ideate, which is the first step, and then design, and then execute, and then assess. Now, if you are following your Gen AI application in this 4-step element, then you would like the chances of failures are much less. The chances are that you have enough information, data, practice in terms of moving ahead, and that is something that you would be able to do. And that is the approach that we go ahead and take, right? Also, just to end on a very quick line on the organization name, which is Ripples Learning and Research. We do a lot of research, and one of our latest research is, and I was going through it before joining this meeting, and the research team just shared this with me. It's called India Workforce Blueprint 2030, and extensive research has been done. More than 8,000 data points, 212 organizations is the primary data set. And then there are a lot of secondary data sets from IMF, from ILO and NASCOM, etc. And what we are seeing here is a big shift. So basically 15 sectors were analyzed, including a lot of sectors which are present here. If you see, these were the 15 sectors. Let me just quickly show this across. And this is very interesting because, so these are the 15 sectors: information technology, healthcare. There is something called technical textiles and medical devices. We are wearing a lot of medical devices, etc. But in each, there are jobs which are vanishing. And this is our own research. And then there are emerging roles. And emerging roles has certain capabilities and skill heat map. And this is very, very India specific. But just to show you in a vertical like healthcare, if you see, these are these are roles that we had never imagined, like AI diagnostic specialist, telemedicine coordinator, pharmacovigilance expert, right? RWE analyst. These are very, very interesting roles. And, I mean, there is JD and all that. And maybe I'll share this. It's not released yet. So maybe I'll share it with Madan to share it with everyone just to get a sense of how exactly it is. But a lot of things are changing because of AI coming in. And I think the approach that I spoke about would be the right approach in terms of moving it forward, right? Thank you, Madan, for
Thanks, Animesh. We will share the report and the links to your work with all the 40 plus people attending this session. We have leaders from across the spectrum, from founders to government to heads of innovation and knowledge management in big companies, and AI skilling has come up in a very big way. I think we will get you back again for another session. We're out of time now, and I made a big list of questions for discussion, which we will do in our next Bangalore K Community Meetup, which will be on December 17th. So please stay tuned for that. We've got one more Mike case study coming in that. But to wrap up today, before I say Happy Diwali again, let me ask my colleague Manasvi and also Sai to say a few words and thank everyone for joining this session. So Manasvi, Vinay, Sai, over to you. Manasvi, I think you're on mute.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks, Madan. Thanks for the great session. And thank you for all the speakers joining in. Just a quick check. If you could just scan this QR code and let me know if this link is working for you all.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, so this is the feedback link. Feel free to share your feedback. Let me just quickly just jump to the vote of thanks here. So as we bring this session to a close, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to each one of you, for being part of the edition of this mixer. Thank you for showing up with your ideas and your curiosity and your presence. It's your energy that turns a gathering into something meaningful, a space shaped by collaboration, insight, and momentum. A special thank you to our speakers, panelists, and moderator, Dr. Madan Mohan Rao, and facilitators. Your openness and depth spark the conversation that matter. You're the reason Mixes stays thoughtful and relevant. To our partners, collaborators, and community champions, thank you for building bridges with us, helping us create real opportunities for growth, innovation, and global reach. And of course, deep gratitude to the amazing team behind Mixer, Vinay Dora and Sai, who are here. Your effort, coordination, and care bring all of this to life. As we wrap up, we would love to keep the momentum going. So Mixer doesn't end here, right? There's more ahead through future mixers, curated sessions, and cross-border connections. You can follow us on www.mixer.world or also on LinkedIn, where we share upcoming events. And if you want to integrate yourselves into the Bangalore ecosystem next month, we can help you with that as well. So please let us know the kind of people you would like to connect with. So once you scan this QR code, you will be seeing the kind of audience you would like to connect with. So share your inputs there, and our team will reach out to you and help you with the same. So thanks everyone for joining in again.
Thanks everyone for joining us once again. Happy Diwali. In just a few seconds, there's going to be very loud fireworks and all that over here. So it's better to finish at 5 o'clock this evening.
Right.
For all those who've joined in the middle of their very busy Diwali celebrations, families, etc., thanks for taking 2 hours off and share with us, all of us around the world, your insights and what you're doing in knowledge management. We've covered everything from entrepreneurship to big leadership issues to practical issues of skilling, training, strategy, lots of metrics, lots of presentations to share with everyone. Thank you so much. We'll keep much more time for discussion next time. Join us again on December 17th for the last Mixer event of the year on the topic of enterprise knowledge and AI. So thanks everyone. Thanks Leila for joining us for the first time. We hope you join us again in future sessions. And Ved, please do a good job in rallying everyone together under the KM Global Network umbrella. Thanks. Thanks everyone. Happy